money says they're not going to do anything about it.
So, are you going to have to disclose yield spread premiums then, or not?
No. We don't have to disclose them now as a bank. As a broker you do. And,
right.
and it doesn't look like that will change.
Okay.
So right now, I think you guys all know this number pretty well. There's about 1.7 million homes right now in the shadow inventory that have not hit the market yet because primarily moratoriums, partly because many of the banks are trying to go ahead and do workouts. But the moratoriums are up. You're going to see more product hitting the market. This will go ahead and really increase. The good news is it's going to increase inventory, but it's also going to continue to push rates down. Because right now, we all recognize that it's what we do for a living is what's going to go ahead and push the economy. And right now, it will continue to keep rates down because as this supply comes in, someone has to buy it. And you have to make it affordable. And I think that's the good news about so many homes coming on the market. And I think I'd mentioned this to you last time, but forgive me if I don't recall. But right now in California alone, there's 60 billion of pay option ARMs that are coming to the market in foreclosure. Only 14% of them are full doc loans. The rest of them were stated. So there's no way to go ahead and requalify those loans. So, you talk about, unfortunately, sometimes we have to experience intense pain to find relief. And I think we've all been talking about what are you going to do for the jumbo market? Well, Congress and everyone else is beginning to find out that, hey, we're now at that point. What are you going to do? You have all these people that have loan amounts above 729, 750. We need to find a solution for them because there's a lot of them. What are we going to do about it? I'm not sure what those total answers are, but they have to come out with some type of relief. And it's either going to be through modifying the mortgages or coming up with better loan programs to help so many people right now who bought homes stated. I mean, I think almost everyone in this room has got a stated loan. What happens as these loans mature and adjust? What are we going to do about it? It needs to be answered, and I think you're going to start seeing some of that. Banks will continue to hold back homes because they don't want to kill the market, so they want to keep home prices up. Because if they're going to be a seller, they don't want to be the guy that pushes the prices down. So they're playing a little, how do I play this out? I think right now, large lenders are going to have to try to figure out how they want to play the escrow thing. I think they're going to find out that they're going to be dealing with the better escrow companies. I think right now, on a lot of the refi side, they already control it. I guess the great news is I think lenders are going to try to control their refis because they can't control their purchases. I think lenders are going to turn around and be smart about who they'll go ahead and do escrows with because, again, I think at the end of the day, the strong escrow companies, especially in Southern California, get to win. In Northern California, everything's tied up with titled escrows together. It's a different animal than down here. Escrow as an independent is just a way of life. We certainly see that continuing on the purchase side. On the refi side, I think it's going to be a little bit more challenging, especially with the big banks, because they're trying to figure out how they play these closing costs. This is just getting in really quickly about how RPM is working right now to complete our disclosures quicker. This is that part I was telling you about. So this is just a quick schematic on how it has to work. A loan agent can go into our system right now and use Quick Qualifier. They can order the credit authorization, and they can give the consumer an estimate of the home they can afford without taking an application. Because remember, if I take an application, I've got to do a good faith estimate. So we've got that completed. So now our loan agent will put this information into our system. We have some technology that we just built called Quick Analytics that will create the disclosures and automatically send them out to the borrower, so it's wrapped quick. We have what is called a good faith analyst, who is an expert at these new good faith estimates that can go ahead and run an audit for the disclosures. We then upload the information back to the loan agent saying, we've sent out your disclosures, here's your good faith estimate, it's complete, it's perfect, and it went out. And then we go ahead and we put it into what's called Point, which is our loan processing software, and it's completed. We see a GFE analyst being able to complete this in about 20 minutes. Remember I was telling you right now the average is an hour. We think as we get better at this, we can be even faster with it as we get better with the automation. But we think it is critical that we are able to get this out very, very rapidly. agents to be able to use our system, it's really one form. And they're essentially taking the loan application and they're hitting submit. Everything else is done. At the end of the day, we hope our loan agent is more concerned about keeping up with the relationship than trying to go ahead and paper themselves to death, which is what we think is happening at the moment. So that's just a quick view of the form they've got to complete. And obviously it's all online. Our goal for RPM and what we hope to happen is those Fannie Mae loans where hopefully your picture is on that statement. We will do $1 billion of that by the end of August is our goal. Our goal is to get to $2 billion within 18 months, and at $2 billion, we can then service the loans ourselves internally versus using a sub-servicer, so we think that's a big deal. As you guys probably already recognize, FHA has continued to keep the 3.5% down payment. That has stayed in place, but they have raised the mortgage insurance premium. And the max seller credit for FHA will be limited to 3% from 6%. And I believe FHA will increase their market share once again. Again, it's certainly the loan of choice right now.
That's a prediction about that 3% versus 6%, right?
No, that's that one. I'm hedging on that. That one's done.
Okay.
That one's.
When will it take effect? Is it today or?
Do you know the answer to that?
I don't know if it was today or sometime within the next 60 days.
I'll get you that answer. It's a great question, but that one's in the can. They've already said that was what it was going to
But if you
be.
put a deal in escrow today, could the seller still pay 6%? Is it going to be grandfathered?
Yeah, I'll get you the answer. I don't know. It's a great question. I don't know when. I know this is in effect. The question is when does it start? The law they've changed it. Now the question is when does it start? But that is in the can. The good news is though they can still get a 3.5% down because at one point they were trying to say 5%. So really what they did was they kept it at 3.5%, but they raised the MIP. 6 of one or half a dozen of the other.
Hey Rob, did they knock out the third-party people putting up the down payment?
Oh, you're talking about yes.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
gone.
Yeah, it's been gone for a while. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think this is an encouraging one. I think we all recognize that the economy, interest rates are very, very low right now. The MBA predicts that interest rates will go per quarter. It'll average 5.10% by the end of the first quarter, 5.2% by the end of the second quarter, 5.3% third quarter, 5.4% for the fourth quarter. We believe that the first 9 months of this year, you're going to see rates relatively low. I'm not really sure what's going to happen in the fourth quarter because right now, that shadow inventory, as that shadow inventory hits the market, it does increase supply. I think it also keeps rates down. Because right now, someone has to be able to buy the shadow inventory as it comes to market. And of course, we all know interest rates make it more affordable. I think also a lot of the shadow inventory is going to be on the higher end, so they must keep rates down to make them more affordable. So I guess it's good news, bad news. I think that we have more inventory coming, which I think is going to make it more of a buyer's market continuing. But I think it also will keep interest rates down because that inventory does need to be absorbed.
Rob, when you say higher end, what numbers do you?
To me, the higher end starts to come above anything above $729,000 loan amount, and we think we think above 729 right now is the part of the market that is going to need relief. And I wish I had a better answer as to what that relief will be, but I do think it's going to have to somehow come from the government saying, we know that these homes are expensive and they're coming on the market. What are we going to do about it? And I just don't really know how they're going to handle that one. But I think that's the part of the market that is where the highest net worth is in the country, and I think they have to do something to keep rates down to get people to want to buy it.
Okay. When you structure the loans for your lending institution, I was talking to a Bank of America underwriter about they have a 10% down to $2 million stated income. And I said, well, I have a buyer that
Is
wants to buy.
stated or self-insured?
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Full doc.
Okay.
Full doc, excuse me.
So it's going to
I said, I
apply.
have a buyer that wants to buy a $3 million house, and they'll put $1.5 million down.